Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have a really fun video that I'm super excited for, which is everything that I use to bullet journal. This includes the notebook that I use and the pens that I use and another category of miscellaneous items that don't necessarily fit into one group. I hope you enjoy the video. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you today is the actual bullet journal that I use. This is the Paloma Mint Dotted Bullet Journal. It has cream colored pages and they're pretty thick, especially for the cheap price that I got this journal for. I believe it was $8 on Amazon and it was with Prime, so there's free shipping. On the front, I have stickers from different sticker companies and some places that I've been to. And I'll show you a quick example of some of the spreads that I've made. So this is my most current spread. Here is my spread from last week. Pretty simple, but as you can see, there is no ghosting or bleeding, which is amazing. And even some of the highest quality bullet journals on the market are not compatible with heavy pens. I think that this bullet journal is an excellent choice for beginners especially. It does not bleed, nor does it ghost. It has pretty thick pages, and overall it was very cheap, free shipping. Definitely I would recommend it. Next, I'll be showing you all the fine liners that I use in my bullet journal. So in this, I have two fine liners, which are the only ones that I actually use. I'm sure that you've seen many bullet journalers with a large supply of fine liners, but I've never found the need to have many of these. I've had both of these for around 2 or 3 years now, and they have had a very amazing and long life. They have never run out of ink, and I think that they are amazing. So the first fine liner I have to show you is the Staedtler pigment liner with 0.5 thickness. Because I used to do art, I've had this pen for such a long time, like I said, probably 2 or 3 years, but it has never run out of ink. Another amazing thing about this pen is that the tip has not worn down at all after so many years of use. I don't use this pen for writing tasks and stuff like that in my journal, but rather I use it for outlining bigger diagrams and stuff like that. The only other fine liner in my collection is the Pigma Micron in 0.3 thickness. This pen's tip does wear down pretty easily, especially compared to the Staedtler one. The tip on this pen is definitely not as good as the Staedtler one. It's definitely not as durable, but the thickness is perfect for me and it's very easily accessible, so I use it. But besides the lack of durability on the tip, this pen I think is perfect. The pen does not bleed through paper, which is definitely essential for bullet journalers. I use this pen more for writing down tasks and doing thinner outlines. The next category that I'm going to talk about is brush pens. So I'm sure that if you know anyone who bullet journals, you know how much they love brush pens. Brush pens are just a staple in the bullet journaling community, and I don't think I could live without them. I have so many of them, so I'm going to try to break them down into smaller groups so that it's easier to understand and compare. So these are all the brush pens that I have. I know that it seems like a lot, but somehow I always still want more. The only large brush pens that I'm going to be talking about today are the Tombow dual brush pens. I'm sure you've heard of these before. They're basically the holy grail for anyone who loves big calligraphy. Personally, I do not use these too much in my bullet journal just because I enjoy writing with thinner lines because my bullet journal is quite small compared to a lot of other bullet journals. But I'm sure if I had a bigger one, I would love using these. Another problem I have with these Tombow dual brush pens is just the fact that I don't have a black one, which is the only color that I prefer to use in my bullet journal. I like to keep it simple for the most part, which is why I don't use colored brush pens in my bullet journal. But if you have a bigger bullet journal and like colors in there, then I would definitely recommend these. The tip of these brush pens is quite large, and I will say that they fray quite easily if you don't have the right kind of paper. The fine tip is very fine, and personally I think I like the fine tip more than the brush nib. I think it's perfect for writing in a monoline style. Overall, I would definitely recommend the Tombow dual brush pens if you like colorful calligraphy and calligraphy that's a little bit bigger than the average size that you see in bullet journals. So the next subcategory I have for you today are colored Fude, I believe is how you pronounce it, which basically means small brush pens. So the first type of Fude I want to show you is the 6-count Zebra Funwari brush pens. I love these so much. I think they are amazing, and they have a pretty hard nib. I would say they're pretty comparable to the Tombow hard tip Fude. Personally, I love them, and I wish there was a black one. The next kind of Fude I'd like to show you are these colored Tombow Fude. I've had these for a long time, but I just found them again, so I kind of lost a lot of the colors, but I love them so much. These are pretty much just a colored version of the hard tip Tombow Fude. I would say that these pens, the Zebra Funwaris and the colored Tombow Fude are pretty much extremely similar, so I think it just comes down to which colors you like more. The next kind of Fude I'd like to show you are one of my favorites ever, which are the Pentel signs. I've had these pens for such a long time, and for good reason. I think they are so amazing. These are probably the juiciest Fude that I've ever used, and I've had them for probably 3 years and they have not run out of ink yet. If you're a beginner, I would definitely recommend these because they are super easy to control, and it's very easy to get a thick downstroke and a light upstroke, which is of course very important in calligraphy. The last and probably my favorite kind of brush pen that I would like to show you today is black brush pens. So I use black brush pens the most because I love simple headers in my bullet journal and on my notes. So I feel that black brush pens are the way to go. First, I'll show you the Bimoji Brush Pen. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce it because the packaging is all Japanese. But I love this brush pen, and the nib is very tiny, and I will say that this pen does not lend itself to very differentiated up and down strokes, but it is just small calligraphy, which is my favorite, and it is a very easy to control nib. The next brush pen that I would like to show you is actually a group of 2 brush pens. So these are the black Tombow Fude. These are 2 of my favorite brush pens ever. I think they are so amazing and so flexible, and they are perfect for beginners. So the Fude with the black barrel is the soft tipped Fude, whereas the navy blue barrel is much more rigid. Personally, I prefer the navy blue barrel, but this one I think would be much better for beginners because it has such a soft tip and you can get very different looking up and down strokes. This Tombow Fude is the one with the navy blue barrel. So this is the hard tip, which like I said is much more rigid, and I definitely prefer this one. It is so flexible. I've had this brush pen for months and it is still very juicy and very much alive. And the final small tipped black brush pen that I would like to show you is the Pentel sign. I've already shown you this one in the colored version, so I'm not going to talk about this one too much, But this is the first black brush pen that I've ever had, and I've used it for so long, and it is still working amazingly. I definitely would recommend this brush pen out of every other brush pen to beginners because it is so easy to use. The last category that I have for you today is the miscellaneous category. Here I'll be showing you things that don't necessarily fit into any of the other categories, but I still find essential for bullet journaling. So first we have the obvious. Scissors, which these have been my old reliable since 5th grade, and then Elmer's glue. There are also things called, I think, adhesive rollers, which you can find at Staples, but I've never purchased one of those, but I think it's basically just like double-sided tape glue. I'm about to buy one, so I'll get back to you guys with if I like it or not, but these are perfectly fine for anyone trying to start bullet journaling. Another bullet journaling essential that I love are stickers. I think stickers can spice up a spread so much. So there are different sticker companies that you can purchase from. For example, these are by Stickers by Joe on Instagram. These are, bigger size stickers. And then there are little stickers, but really you can find sticker companies anywhere, whether on Etsy or Instagram. And if you ever need to find a good sticker company to shop from, just DM me on Instagram and I will give you so many recommendations. For example, here's a spread that I use some stickers in, and I think it makes them look so much cuter and, a little more unique. As you can see, my next essential item is photos. I love putting photos in my bullet journal. I think that they can really make your vibe very unique. As you can see, I really like the kind of Japanese shop aesthetic right now. I put them basically everywhere in my bullet journal, and this segment will lead me into my next favorite. Now, if you're new to bullet journaling, you might be looking at this paper bag and wondering what this is. But I love using paper bags for my spreads. What I do is I cut out, little shapes right here, and then I glue my photos onto them so it has a little paper background. Here are some examples. I think it really spices them up and makes them look so cute, and they stand out much better. If you've been paying basically any attention to my video, you've probably seen that I use this method so much. I think it makes the spreads look very unique and it adds, a really pretty vibe to them. Hey guys, I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!